we'll begin just a little bit on a sad note with the gas explosion in Ajegunle.
Yes, I saw something yesterday, and I was really, it was very sad. It was very sad.
People were rushed to the general hospital, various degrees of burns. And there are conflicting reports on how many people died, but there are people who died immediately after the explosion. There were casualties. And there, of course...
was it an industrial explosion or a domestic explosion?
I think... I gathered domestic, I gathered industrial.
Okay, well, people that sell gas, they're not industrial. It's just that they put too many gas canisters together.
Okay, so but in this regard, I would call that industrial.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
Because it's not in the house, I would say.
Yeah, so once you have 2, 3, 5, 10 gas canisters together, that's an accident waiting to happen, especially if they're old canisters. There are lots of canisters that have been used now that should have been discarded like 5 years ago or 10 years ago, but people are still using it because, to buy a new gas cylinder is like, what, 25 or 30,000?
Yeah, if you want to buy the 5.5 is about 12,000, 11,000 to 12,000.
Yes, about that.
So when you think of the cost, but guess what, the lifespan of a gas cylinder is actually written on it,
Oh, okay.
It's actually there.
It's written on it.
It's written on it, and people don't know.
So have they found out, has there been some sort of investigation?
Well, of course, it's still kind of fresh, so investigations will definitely be ongoing. We won't know for sure just yet.
And condole with anyone who lost family or friends there. That's quite very sad.
And I'd also like to what do they say now? Commend. That's the word I was looking for. LASEMA, that's the Emergency Management Authority. They were on ground, they moved in, they had enough equipment and enough emergency equipment to also take care of those who had so they treated people on site, which is not something that you would often see.
Exactly.
Most of the time what you see is that they're just dragging people who are with hanging limbs and all of that. In the old days
they were better
I saw some people that were already treated before they moved into the ambulance,
which is standard international practice. So you treat them on site, stop bleeding for those on site, the ones that you can stop on the side there. In fact, those that need stitches, you can stitch them on site before you move them to the hospital. Because there are many people who die on the way to the hospital from bleeding. And things like that. So kudos to them.
I was going to even talk about the hospital situation, but let me just quickly talk about this gas thing. So I found out something recently. My sister went for this school church function. Okay. And that was where she discovered that some people prolong the lifespan of the gas in your cylinder. Guess what they do?
Wow.
So when the gas stops working, they get a big bowl of water, put the cylinder in it, and it can last for days, as if there's still gas in the cylinder. Now, I would like us perhaps one day to bring an expert to see whether there are any dangers to that. But believe me, putting the gas cylinder in water extends in fact, will I say the lifespan of the gas inside?
Don't listen to me.
Please don't try it though. But I'm just saying that we need to actually bring an expert.
I think it's just probably just simple physics. It's less dense.
Simple, yes.
So the gas
comes up, it rises up. That's what happens. It's not like there's additional gas that's manufactured.
No, it doesn't.
Because what happens is that probably when it gets on and over, you can't take it up. So maybe with water.
As in for days it will last. It was shocking to find out. So back, okay.
Yeah, so for me, I would want to say something. A lot of things are not optimal in the country. We know, but you see, as much as a lot of hope is lost, when things happen like this, like he mentioned, when you have an emergency service doing their job right, the most we can do, or the least we can do, is to commend and encourage. It's bad. We know it's bad. So we just need all the light at the end of the tunnel that we can get. So I would want to go back there, LASEMA and all that, the emergency services. Well done, thank you. Big shout out there.
Yes.
I mean, let's encourage these people so that
those guys
they get to do more like this. If we have, because accidents will happen.
Yeah.
Whichever way.
People will fall ill.
You understand? So it's all about recovery, salvaging, and management and all that. That is what will help us.
I'm quite impressed. I don't know who's managing that service, but the response time, the equipment that they have, their vans, their ambulances, they're different. They have this fluorescent green color, and it does very.
The hospital management service itself is doing very well. I witnessed something just earlier this week because I had to go to the hospital, and while there, a lady was brought in, an SS patient who was very pregnant, and she was very feeble. Now, she was attended to. The doctor spent 4 hours trying to stabilize her. And it's something that before you would see the patient probably just lying down on the floor. Madam, no bed. Yes, there was no bed, but there was still that first aid given to stabilize her. You just took me to another
place now. What is an SS patient doing with the keyboards? Let's just...
Bro. In fact, we should probably talk about it next out. A lot of things are happening. I had to tweet about it, but let's take this break, please. We'll return shortly.